Welcome back to my bathroom. My name is Katey Denno, and for those of you who have never been here before, I'm a celebrity makeup artist and a huge lover of all things credo beauty, and today I'm making a video for you about eye makeup. There are just so many amazing options, from beautiful palettes, look at that, from Athr, to fantastic new cream eyeshadows from Athr, you're gonna love these, to liquid eyeliners. We've never had something like this before, and truly smudgy, blendable, gorgeous Khol pencils. And I mean, of course, we have great mascara options. We'll get into that in a little bit, but there's never been a better time for you to get curious and start experimenting with makeup, especially eye makeup, than right now. So I decided to start this look by giving myself a hefty dose of this shadow. It's a matte shadow from this gorgeous Athr palette. It's the Rose Quartz palette. It's been around, but it's had a facelift of sorts. It's in a very eco-friendly packaging, fully recyclable, and all of these shades are just fantastic. The texture is buttery silkiness. Let me just show you how much color payoff and shimmer payoff. So these in the center are shimmery. There's a few other shimmer ones, but then there are also a couple of mattes. So this is what I have on right now, and I'm going to show you just in a little snippet of how I like to apply it. So if you have oily lids, I would say this is the time to either dust with a little translucent powder from RMS or use an eyelid primer from PYT or ILIA. I'm name dropping, but I just want to show you there are really great options, and they're all at Credo. So then I took this. I'm going to insert a little video of me with naked eyes right now so you can see exactly what I did. It's really simple. And then, of course, I curled my eyelashes before putting mascara on. My technique, if you've never seen on my Instagram account, is curl at the root, then angle towards your nose, whichever side of your nose you're on, so that you get those outer edges up a little higher, and then load up on the mascara. I used ILIA's Limitless Lash. It's a great everyday mascara. It's buildable, and this is exactly that. So then what I wanted to do was show you that, you know, for those of you who are intimidated by this because you're like, I see on Instagram I should be using this in the center, this in the corner, this in the crease. Like, if that's not in your wheelhouse and you're not interested in it, that's wonderful. All you got to do is choose a favorite each day. You can use your finger and smear it on. That's basically what I have going on right now. What I want to do is show you how you can go from this, just a matte, great eyeshadow on the lid, to a little more drama and dimension by adding a shimmery product. These are so fantastic. This is the Athr Lightshow Color Melt in the shade Hopscotch. I'll show you on my hand before I pick it up. So it has so much color payoff and such shimmer, and it really just like creates a completely different look on the lid. Check this out. So you pick it up using flat Weiss brush. This could be also a concealer brush. And then, so this is a technique that's often called the halo eyelid. So you've got matte all over and around, and then you go back in and just place, can you see that? Just place the shimmery shadow in the center. So you get a bit of a three-dimensional effect. And you could keep it just there, or you could take it out. Maybe I'll just take it out a little bit. And making sure to get it all the way down to the lash line. And you can play around with how high up you want to take it, whether you have a crease or not, exactly where you want to stop the application is totally dependent upon you. So I always suggest, if you're new to this, like, give yourself time. Don't do this right before you're leaving on a date or right before work, because you might want to take a little more time to experiment with placement and how much product you want to apply. But I really like using a flat they call these a cat tongue brush, so that you actually have full control over placement. One thing to note, if you're using powder shadow, fallout is likely, meaning product ending up, oh, look how pretty that is. Product from the powder fallout ending up underneath your eyes. So it's wise to do your eye makeup first if you're using a powder product. It's not imperative to do your eye makeup before any skin or under eye concealer if you're using cream products, because there's no fallout, which is fantastic. So even just that added so much more intrigue, I feel, especially when you're like looking away, just and it makes the eye appear a little bit more forward. So when you think about paintings and adding lights and darks to create depth, this is basically what you've just done. See what I mean? So I paired it with a pale pink lip and then tapped some of that onto my cheeks. This little baby really dressed my eyes up. So I just had an idea. Before we say goodbye to this look, I was thinking it might be fun to add a little electric blue liquid liner. I'm not going to go full on Amy Winehouse wings with this. I'm just going to drag it along my lash line just for a little added pop. And you could use this so many different ways. You could fully line your upper and lower lash line with it. You could do the big liquid line cat eyes. You could do any graphic shape around your eye. That's what's so wonderful about Clean Beauty now having options like this. We really didn't have those before. So now it's really an opportunity to play and have fun. And even just that, I love it. So one thing that I like to do is go back in and make sure that I fill in any naked skin that you may see in between the lashes. So you can do that in two ways. One, you can take the tip and just go in this way. It might cause you to sneeze. Or you can go up like that. Just press that up against your roots, up against the roots of your lashes, causing the product to just fill in the naked skin. So when I'm doing my clients' makeup, I always ask them if they can to maintain either eye contact with me or look right past me. That's going to help me create the right shape of either the wing or the flick or whatever I'm doing on the outer edge with their eye open. Because if you close the eye, it's impossible to know what the outer edge is going to look like. So when you're working on yourself, if you can look straight into the mirror, that's what I'm going to do right now, and keep your eye open, and that way you ensure that the way that the line is going to look once you finish is no different than how it looked during application. I couldn't resist. Okay, moving on. I love the way that this looks, and I have to let you know that as a professional makeup artist, somebody who's used this and watched how it wears, I would advise against doing something this thick with this, because the technology isn't quite there in Clean Beauty to make it 100% long wear stay proof. And if you're like me and your skin is dry, you'll probably notice that the product after hours starts to flake. If you're really oily, you'll probably notice that it starts to smear. So I would say keeping it to like a thin line, like I showed you in the beginning, above your lashes is perfect. Okay, so let's say you're not much of a makeup wearer, but you saw this really fun shade from Exa's Lightshow line. It's called Roller Rink. And you were like, I really want to wear this, but I'm not going to put it all over my lid, and I don't want to, learn some 12-step process to wear this. So look at the colors in here. I can't tell if I'm squeezing it out or not. There's a lot of gold and green. It's really, really pretty, and this will look amazing on a variety of skin tones. Hair color, eye color. So I'm going to show you a way that I suggest folks who are not much of makeup wearers, but really, are like craving something fun like this. and that is to make a thin little eyeliner out of it. And so I'm taking Jenny Patinkin's brush, and I'm just gonna load it up like so. I mean, this couldn't be more simple. I need a teeny little mirror to help me with this. And then you're just gonna press it along your lash line. So I put mascara on already. So this is like the easiest thing to do to update a daytime look and make it evening. Oh, it's so fun, can you tell? So for those of you who just wanna keep it to just right there on the lid, I mean, that's more than enough. Just paint right behind your lashes. You can take it as high up as you want. You can take it all the way into the inner corner or not. You could rim your whole eye with it. I think I'm gonna just, not take it down, but make a teeny little flickiness at the end. And then I think that would probably be the extent of this look, especially for someone who's not so into much in the way of eyes. So let's see if I can match this one. This is my smaller, more deep set eye. Most people have slight or more than slight variations between, you know, in the symmetry of their face. Most people are not actually terribly symmetrical. So once you get started in this, and if you realize that, don't worry, we're all the same in that asymmetry. A little flick at the end. I hope the camera is able to pick up the amazing, like the subtle nuances of color reflection in here. There's also some like neon green and yellow. It's a beautiful shade. So like I said, this is gonna look great on a variety of skin tones. That's it. I mean, the only other thing that I might do is take ILIA's latest mascara launch, their Fullest Volumizing Mascara, and add a little more so that I have a more lush lash look. And you can also put it on the bottom. So you can see just how luscious this makes your lashes. And of course, I'm already wearing quite a bit of mascara from their original launch, their Limitless Lash, but look at that, just a little extra goes a long way. I love that. So like I said, I really hope that this camera is able to pick up the nuances of the beautiful shade that we have here, because I love it. Okay, onto something a little more intense. And for our final look, I'm going to take the Jillian Dempsey Khol pencil, and I'm just going to trace my lash line, and then I'm going to use the smudgy end to draw it up and out. So I'm essentially going to use this to give myself a smoky eye. And then I'm going to take the shimmery gray from the same Athr palette, and I'm going to take that into the socket of my eye here. So if you don't have a crease like mine, you can take this same shadow and just press it along behind your lash line, and it's going to create an amazing amount of depth, and it's just such a fun color to have around the eyes too. So here we go. Okay, I did one without you just to make sure I liked how it looked. So basically, I'm going to show you exactly what I did on this eye, but basically I just traced my eye and then used the smudgy edge and smudged it out. And then I went back in and filled in my waterline, that's the inside, and made sure to darken in between each of my lash hairs so that there's really no naked skin whatsoever. Eye number 2. So you can see it really doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to smudge it. And then the waterline gets so much easier with practice. I always take a cotton swab, smudge the edge. This part might be gross, so look away if you're squeamish. And know that it gets way easier with practice. So it doesn't have to be perfect. A smudge is a smudge is a smudge. Just make sure that it's somewhat even. You've given yourself the same amount of dark black on both eyes. And again, most people's eyes are not perfectly symmetrical. Mine certainly aren't. This eye would be a little bit higher if they were. So just be mindful of sometimes adding a little more dark on one side to even things out can be helpful. Taking some selfies, assessing is a really great option. Okay, so for me, this is great. I'm ready to move on to step 2, which is the dark shadow in the crease. So I'm going to use a small dome-shaped brush. And again, taking this shimmery shadow from the Athr palette, I'm just going to show you the placement that I like is right here. So I'm just going to go right along this part of my socket, little tapping motions, and marry it with the outer edge of my smudged up eyeliner. What do you think? So I'm going to load up my brush again. Do the same thing on this eye. So this helps immensely for those of us who have slightly hooded eyes or very hooded eyes, because it adds shadow into the crease, thereby making it less likely that you'll have any serious gathering of your eyeliner smudge in the crease, because that can happen. So then I'm going to take a slightly larger dome-shaped brush and just ever so slightly blend it side to side, not really blending up. I want to keep that all in the socket, but I don't want any hard edges. And there you have it. So then step back and assess, make sure your eyes appear somewhat even. And then I think I want to add a little more shimmer. So I'm going to go back in and take this shimmery delight and just add a little right in here. Yeah, that's nice. Just a little more dimension. And now onto mascara. So I just want to point out that this eyeliner was born to smudge. So if you're looking for a very sharp-edged, stay-put kind of eyeliner, this is not the one. This is the kind of eyeliner that, you know, you put on for a date night and it looks better as the evening goes on. Okay, so first we curl at the root, then pull out, angle up towards your nose, get those outer edges up higher, and then I have something exciting to show you. It's ILIA's newer mascara. It's relatively recent launch, and it has one of those big chunky brushes, and it definitely does a good job of giving a lot more volume and a lot more drama. So a few swipes for those of you who are into a light mascara look. And if you're going for what I want, in this case, you want to really go to town. And I want to let it dry after I give myself the first coating, and then I'll come back in once it's had a few minutes to dry, and another round of coats just gives it so much more volume. Look at that. Let's do the hair flip. That is my kind of smoky eye. So I'm going to take the brush, wipe it off a bit. Just want a little on the brush. And then coat mainly at the roots, but coat those bottom lashes. Just for a little more sultry vibe. And if you get too much on, make sure you pinch it off. For a look like this, I would keep my lips and cheeks pretty neutral as they are. Keep any blush and contour and highlighter pretty neutral just to have all the focus on the eyes. See how surprisingly simple that was? You know, when you see someone on the street or in a magazine and you're like, oh, they really know what they're doing when it comes to a smoky eye. Not necessarily. It's really all about a dark black pencil that can smudge nicely, some sort of shimmer happening somewhere in an eyeshadow, and a whole lot of mascara. I know you can do this. A little time in front of the mirror, some selfies. You got this. Thanks for watching. I hope you had fun. I know I did. See you next time.